We're having Unit Day to celebrate 65 years of the 412th Engineer Command that goes way back to World War II.
The organization was activated in 1949 here in Vicksburg. This particular command, the 412th, has been in Vicksburg for 65 years. It's very important to the national security and national defense of the United States.
The 412th Theater Engineer Command had its genesis here in Vicksburg, Mississippi in 1949. It was reorganized in the Army Reserve as the 412th Engineer Brigade. So the 412th Theater Engineer Command wears this patch, and you can see the initial idea for the unit patch. It's the hourglass shaped figure that bisects the shield is the Mississippi River. Two objects that reflect one another here are remnants of the Engineer Castle, but they represent a bridge, or perhaps a pair of bridges. So 1968 is a key date for a change in the history of the unit, because it changes from a brigade designation or organizational structure to a command, is redesignated a theater engineer command, reorganization to a modular brigade-centric structure. As a tech, the 412th then becomes, just as its name suggests, capable of assuming command of all engineer elements in a theater of operations, theater engineer command.
It's important to the United States Army and the nation. The 412th Theater Engineer Command is responsible for theater-level engineer operations. It commands engineer brigades, engineer battalions, and separate engineer companies, which can be horizontal engineer elements or vertical engineer elements, bridge companies. So the theater itself can be very large, and all of those engineers would be under a theater engineer command. Just prior to some major changes that occurred in the Army Reserve, in which the Engineer Command assumed command of all reserve engineers east of the Mississippi River.
Of course, 412th and 168th are all combined and have a tremendous impact on the local economy of Vicksburg, Mississippi.
If I could summarize the 412th is always about professionalism.
So what does the future hold for the engineer commands, the 412th and the 416th? People who are engaged in planning for the future are concerned about where the Army Reserve engineers will fit in future missions. And there's a lot of effort to make the Army and Reserve engineer, to ensure that the Army Reserve engineer remains relevant.